So you're on the hunt for a great dog trainer right here in Warren, Michigan? Well, you've definitely come to the right place. We'll go over the key things to look for, so both you and your dog can feel comfortable and confident, whether you're at home or out and about in our community. Here's a quick look at what we're going to cover. We'll start with the most important training philosophies. Then we'll break down what those qualifications actually mean. And finally, we'll get into the practical stuff like programs, costs, and some Warren-specific rules. Okay, first things first, let's talk about the foundation of any good dog training program, the actual approach they use. You're going to hear this term a lot, and for good reason. Positive reinforcement is all about rewarding the behavior you want to see more of. It makes learning fun and really helps build a strong, trusting bond with your dog. And this is why it matters so much. Reward-based methods teach your dog what to do, which builds their confidence for the long haul. On the other hand, intimidation-based methods might stop a behavior for a moment, but it's based on fear and doesn't solve the underlying issue. It can even create new problems down the road. Now, something you might not know is that the dog training industry isn't formally regulated. So how can you tell if a trainer really knows their stuff? Well, checking their qualifications is a great starting point. Think of this one as a solid benchmark for professionalism. If a trainer has CPTKA after their name, it means they've passed a rigorous exam covering all the essentials of dog behavior and training. Now, if you're dealing with more complex challenges like serious fear or aggression, this credential is the one to look for. It shows that a trainer has advanced, specialized knowledge to handle those tougher cases safely and effectively. Next up, let's look at the different types of training programs you'll find out there. This will help you figure out what's going to work best for your dog, your lifestyle, and of course, your budget. Each format has its own perks, right? Group classes are fantastic for practicing skills around other dogs and people, but private lessons, they're perfect for zeroing in on issues that happen right in your own home, like jumping on guests or barking out the window. So let's talk numbers. Here's a look at the typical costs for different training services here in the Warren area, just to give you a general idea of what to expect. As you can see, the prices vary quite a bit. Group classes are typically the most budget-friendly option. At the other end of the spectrum is a board and train program. That's a much bigger investment, sure, but it's an immersive, round-the-clock experience, kind of like sending your pup off to a training camp. Being a great dog owner in our community is also about knowing the local rules and where you can go to enjoy some time with your four-legged friend. These are just a few of the key guidelines from Warren and Macomb County to keep on your radar. The leash law, in particular, is really important for your daily walks. It just helps keep everyone safe in our neighborhoods. And the process for getting your dog licensed is pretty straightforward. It all starts with that required rabies vaccine, and from there you can complete the application with the county. You know, our local parks are the perfect real-world classrooms. You can start somewhere with wide-open spaces, like Civic Center South Park, and then as your dog gets better, you can level up to a place with more distractions, like Helmich Park, to really test those skills. Okay, so you've done your research and found a trainer you're interested in. Now it's time for that initial chat. Here are a few really important questions you'll want to ask. This is probably the most important question you can ask. You really want to hear them talk enthusiastically about using rewards like treats, toys, and praise. This just confirms their methods are humane and line up with what we've been talking about. This question really gets at their commitment to their profession. A great trainer is always learning, always staying up to date on the best and most effective practices in the field. This is where it gets personal. A good trainer knows there's no one-size-fits-all solution. They should be asking you questions about your specific goals, whether that's just a calmer walk down your street or being able to have guests over without chaos. Remember, training doesn't just happen during the lesson. So much of the success comes from the practice you put in between sessions. It's really helpful to know how you'll both measure progress and what that homework will look like. We wish you the very best in your search. Making a thoughtful choice right now will pay off for years to come with a well-behaved companion who is a true joy to have at home, in the neighborhood, and all around our city.